Hey, welcome to Huckers Fuckers. I know I haven't recorded this thing in forever. It's a lie. I've recorded a bunch of these, and I'm always too drunk to want to ever put it out, and it's a horrible fucking podcast every time. This time, fucking completely sober, playing this bitch out. Was gonna record it tomorrow. Decided, fuck that. I don't have time tomorrow. I've got to record just the clip with Blake and Jeremy tomorrow. I've got there's a comedian from New York that's coming into Cincinnati, and he's going to be doing LLC with us and Blake. So this week, very special guest. If you guys have listened to the show at all, or if you haven't and you're new to our Patreon, new to Huckers Fuckers and all this shit, this is my side podcast where I do little interviews and shit like that. We've got our friend Jonas Leth Olson, Turbopotato3000 on the Discord and on the Patreon and shit like that. I became aware of you because you had reached out to us and like talked about how you'd been listening for years and how the podcast like meant a lot to you. And then you heard us like bitching about a computer, and then you just fucking willy-nilly sent us like $300, and you gave us the ability to like record video the way that we record it now. So up front, fucking thank you. I appreciate you. You're the man. I wish every listener would randomly send me $300. We'd have a full studio by now. But I fucking appreciate everyone. You didn't have to do that, and it was very fucking sweet of you. So all that right up front. Next, you're a little nervous to do this, and I don't get it. You're talking to my big fat alcoholic head. You were like talking about right before we turn this fucker on. You're like, I wish I would have set up a fake brick wall behind me. I'm like, look at where there's a poorly made bed behind me, a shitty shot, my fucking shitty closet, and a terrible army green bag hanging out in the background. At least you got a nice like little fucking fish painting going on, Jonas.
Hey. Yeah, I bought this thing for $20 at a local flea market.
Nice.
Like,
is this your place?
The frame is worth more.
Is this your place that you own, or do you like rent with a bunch of friends, or what's your living situation?
No, dude, I still live with my parents. Shit
nice.
Sucks.
No, I live with my grandpa. It's fucking. I get it. Like it's way cheaper. Is the economy all fucked up in Norway right now? Did I mention that?
Yeah.
For the listeners, I don't know if I've mentioned. Jonas is from Norway. From what part of Norway are you from?
Trondheim.
Trondheim. That's like that's a Gorgoroth song or some shit like that.
It probably is actually. I think they're from around here.
Are they?
I don't really know.
I just assume every Norwegian is just walking around with an encyclopedia of black metal knowledge at all given times. I called you earlier to see if you wanted to do the podcast today, and you're like, it's holiday today. I'm like, what holiday? And you're like, I don't have. You're like, it's a Kristi. What is it? Hold on, I looked it up.
Kristi Himmelfart.
Himmelfartsdag, right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Kristi Himmelfartsdag, which is Ascension Day. Yeah, I looked it all up. I even looked up the pronunciation. That isn't off the top of my head, but yeah, it's Ascension Day. And I was like, what is that some cool ass Viking shit? And then I looked it up, and it's just as boring as everywhere else. I forget that Norway is like a Christian country. So it's like,
we got the cross in our flag, dude. Shit sucks.
and then it like all occurred to me. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a fucking. Why? I don't know. I had a bunch of these questions, like Norwegian specific questions, like fucking. There's so many fucking dorky white nerds over here that are so into Viking culture and fucking ancient Norwegian gods and fucking talking about Jotunheim and these fucking stupid Thor concepts and getting runes tattooed on them. Is it that prevalent in your home country to have these fucking dorks that are into Viking shit?
No, we don't have people that are like crazy into Viking shit. I mean, we got Viking shit around. It's a part of our culture and that sort of stuff.
Right.
But we don't like snort that shit, right? But
not getting high on your own supply.
No, you know what it's about. No, but when I went to the States, I went there for a vacation a few years ago. But literally, every third person that heard we were Norwegian. Like, oh, dude, I got some Scandinavian heritage. Like,
oh god,
like, oh yeah, I'm
how
50% American, 50% Viking. And they're like, all right, well, can you just give me my hot dog, dude?
Just how hard were your eyes rolling every time that? Are you trying to like mask your accent the whole time that you're in the States? Like, oh fuck, dude, if he hears my accent, I'm gonna have to do this all over again and pretend like it's not the 50th time today I've heard your shitty Viking joke.
Dude, it gets hard. Oh, I need the accent, dude. There's no chance. It's I try.
I'm one of the same
No.
corny dicks because when you were like, it's Christy Himmelfart's dog, I was like, that's got to be like the day that they all celebrate Varg stabbing Euronymous to death. Nope, it's the day that Christ went to heaven. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious that you get the day off. Because I'm like, you at work today? Because what is Norway? 7 hours, 7 hours difference between the Eastern time zone and whatever your fucking goofy fucking
Yeah.
time zone is over there and shit. So it's like 7:30 p.m. and it's 12:26 p.m. over here. So I didn't want to call you while you were at work and shit. And you're like, no, it's fucking, I got the day off. And I'm like, what? You got the day off for celebrating Jesus going to heaven? That's like getting the day off because Goku beat Frieza on Planet Namek and saved the universe from Frieza's treachery. Like, what do you like? You're just celebrating fairy tales? Did you get the day off work?
Yeah, well, it's kind of. I mean,
That kind of rules. I'm all about it.
We decided not to separate church and state. It's working out.
Yeah, dude.
Nah, we still got some Christian stuff over here, right? We got Christian political party, that sort of shit. But
so there's literally no separation of church and state. It goes together, hand in fucking hand.
No. There is a separation. I'm just not sure how deep that separation goes. I'm not entirely sure.
What was the you said you had stories that you wanted to get into, because I was just like, if you got any when you found the podcast, you said you found it on Reddit and it was like, this guy talks about his bloody asshole, and you're like, bloody asshole podcast, that's for me. So
yeah,
and I was like, I was asking you, like, do you feel like you've got some weird fucking stories? And you're like, yeah, dude, I'm a guy that found a hemorrhoid podcast and said, yes, of course I've got fucking, of course I'm weird. Yes, I've got stories.
Dude, I got a bloody asshole story actually. Now you mention it.
Let's go.
Me and some buddies went down to the Netherlands, right? 2019.
Where'd you go? Holland?
Yeah, just to do drugs and.
It's all big. Is it still hash culture over there? The way that they portray it, in like fucking Cheech and Chong movies. Like,
dude, nobody smokes weed here. It's mostly just hash. And
what is hash? Is that like the black tar heroin of weed? I feel like that's like
it kind of is.
It's the like, dirtiest version of weed, is what it sounds like. It's like sticky, fucking. It's bowl resin you're smoking all the time, like really strong bowl resin.
It's pretty much just resin, yeah. It just I don't know how they make it. I think they just cut the plants and just take out the sap, and that's kind of what we smoke.
They so they shake off there's like the little THC trichromes.
Oh shit, you actually know?
Yeah, they shake it off into these little filters and shit like that. You could do it a couple different ways. There's something called bubble bags, and you can make bubble hash, which is done with ice cold water. So the ice cold water like makes the trichromes, the THC molecules themselves real stiff and hard, and they break off. So
Hold on. I gotta get a pen real quick.
All right. You writing all this down?
No. No.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. This is fucking boring, but you just basically you put it in cold water and you pull bags out, and each bag's got a different mesh filter on it, right? So the first 3 bags are like just to collect plant matter, and then after that you start collecting the actual fucking THC, and then they form it all up and they press it and they heat it. They can make a little ball of bubble hash out of it. And then there's another.
Watched a few documentaries.
Yeah, I've watched a whole bunch of that. I used to be real big into weed when I was a kid. I was like, fuck, I was watching all the Joe Rogan documentaries and listening to him talk about weed because I was all fucking pro weed, trying to get my
Dude, I never got past it. Fuck.
Well, I mean, mine just kind of evolved into harder drugs, so it's not like I got past it. I just got worse.
Now that you put it that way, okay, actually, I'm fine with my weed. No, but yeah, I went to the Netherlands. We smoked a bunch of weed, as we do. We just drank the whole vacation away and got really fucked up. I don't remember much, but I remember the last day because we just did some bad decisions. So, they got psychedelic truffles down there and mushrooms and that sort of stuff. And we were on the last day. Or
can I stop you real quick? The truffles, are they like the stinky kind of truffles, like a black truffle or a white truffle, but it's a psychedelic?
it's a white truffle, right? But it tastes kind of chemically.
Oh
It's kind of
no.
weird, but it's psychedelic as shit.
All right.
But so we go into like a coffee shop, right, on the second to last day, and we ask the cashier, like, all right, we've done acid a few times, right? It's just give us some truffles that'll give us a real nice evening. Yeah, and they were said that it's the last day, and we're gonna take these truffles, and then we're gonna leave.
How much did you
And so
eat?
we trusted this person, right?
Oh
We
no.
trusted the random cashier we met in the Amsterdam, and
You got
so
some roofie truffles. You got the sleepy
Dude,
truffles.
I don't know what the fuck we got, but
You got
right,
fucking.
they gave us like a lunchbox.
Oh
And
no.
we're trusting people. Like we live in a fucking utopia or whatever. So we we didn't Google anything. We didn't do any research. So we just sit there with like a lunchbox each, and we're like, I guess this is one dose, huh? Because we are just asked for
You
one
eat
dose.
a lunchbox of psychedelic mushrooms and you think
like-
that's a dose? How fucking
they-
old are you? Are you 12 years old? You don't know that a lunchbox
I
is
was
too
I was
many?
18, all right. I'm
That
barely
almost
an
makes
adult
it make
in this
sense, but I stopped doing psychedelics when I was 19, so it still doesn't make sense to me. But okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going. I'm just a lunchbox of psychedelic truffles.
Yeah, it was
Jonas,
like
everybody knows that's a bad idea. How do you not know this?
30 grams of truffles. I weighed
You ate 30 grams of truffles?
Yeah,
5 grams is a crazy amount of truffles. You ate fucking 5 or 6 times that, dude. You ate 6
not only
times
that,
what
but
you're...
I was severely I was kind of underweight at the time. I was it was some mental shit, right?
Oh my
So I was in
god.
the
I'm
dark
getting anxiety.
place,
My
taking
hands
a
are...
hero dose.
I wish I had a better camera. My hands are literally sweating thinking about eating 30 grams of psychedelic mushrooms. Keep going, but Jesus Christ. I already know what happens. Just go ahead.
Yeah, not only was this like a fucking full-size lunchbox, but because I was underweight, this was like all the food I could fit in me for the entire day. Like, so yeah, I'm fucking eating truffles. I'm eating truffles, and we're sitting there watching Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
And
no.
my only experience was with acid, right?
Yeah.
And with acid, you get a lot of visuals.
Yeah.
I'd only done it twice, so like my expectations were real high. I'm like, I'm gonna feel this shit. I'm gonna see this shit. So let me just keep eating until I see it. So yeah, I ate an entire box. I just sit there watching Lord of the Rings. I get some slight visuals, and then it hits me. I like my body just goes into like a shock. It's just like, dude, you've been poisoned. And yeah, for the rest of the evening and the night, I just puke and shit my guts out because my body thinks I've been poisoned or something, right?
You
So-
were being poisoned. You ate 30
Yeah, I
grams of
guess I kinda
psychedelic
was.
mushrooms. Yeah, there's no way you weren't being poisoned. You were for sure poisoned. Keep going.
Yeah, and so I just vomited and shit my guts out, and I couldn't get like an ounce of sleep because my body was in shock. I'm like sitting there like shivering from adrenaline, right? Just like laying in my fucking sofa, just trying to sleep.
How many people were with
And-
you?
We were 4 people.
Were they all having
I
the
was-
same experience as you, where it was just a fucking
No.
nightmare for them?
No, just one other dude decided to take it, and he took it way earlier. Like we found him. Like he woke up first, and so we found him just sitting out on the balcony, just going like real fucking scared with his hands like up to his chin, and he just like pointed at a tree nearby, and he's like, "There's a parrot in that tree," and we're just like, "What the fuck? You seeing things?" And but yeah, he had a real good time. He was. I did not. I spent the next day and a half just shitting and vomiting, and we had to leave the day after I took this.
Did you have to get onto an airplane, or was it a drive?
Yeah, we had to go through airport security and all that.
Oh no.
So,
Were you still tripping when you got to airport security?
oh dude, I was still puking and shitting. Dude.
Oh
We
no.
like leave the apartment. I get like a slightly anxious, just leaving the apartment like with all our shit, and so I just proceed to vomit in someone's back garden. This is the 7 in the morning. They definitely were awake at this time.
Just a nice Norwegian kid puking, fucking his guts
Yeah,
out.
just puking, shitting himself, like dying in the street. But it's Amsterdam. I'm sure they're used to it, right? So
That's what I think of when I think of Amsterdam. Is just people shitting themselves to death in the street. Yeah, it's
we go to the airport, and I'm still feeling real bad. So I go around with €2. That's like $2 basically. I go around with a €2 coin and look for any stall that will sell me a plastic bag, because going through security, I feel it. I'm gonna fucking vomit again.
oh no.
And so, yeah, but I leave my bag for a whole 5 minutes. Right, just running through stalls.
Oh,
but you don't
no.
leave your luggage at the airport, right? So by the time I'm back, there's now just 3 armed guards just checking out my luggage. Just like, I haven't slept in 2 days. I'm just sweating my nuts off. Just like, please, it's all right. It's okay. Let me just take this and just wheel it away, right? And I gotta do the passport checks, right? And the X-ray and all that. I gotta check my hand luggage. And they have a metal detector. I walk through, and it beeps. Shit, I forgot something, right? And what they have is like, they have like an X-ray machine you just stand in. They're just like, you just stand there and they check you. Like, it's easy as that. And so they check me, and they realize I got something we call snooze in my pocket.
Oh,
it's basically dip, right? Like mouth tobacco.
Yeah.
Except
we have snooze. I know what snooze is.
All right.
Yeah.
They didn't. In Europe, I think it's only allowed in Scandinavian countries.
Oh fuck! So, why?
I don't know. I guess the EU doesn't really like tobacco.
It's just tobacco. What the fuck?
Yeah. But so I got a loose white pouch of powder in my pocket, and I'm sweating my nuts off.
Oh
and
no!
I gotta like, he's like, he just checks my pocket. He just sticks his hand in my pocket. He's holding my pocket. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. No, but he checks my pocket. He finds a white pouch of powder, and he goes like, right? And I gotta try to explain to him while sweating and puking
in broken English.
That this is not cocaine. It should definitely not. And now he goes and fucking checks it, and of course it wasn't. But
that must have been a fucking nightmare. Did you almost miss your flight because of all that?
Oh yeah. But not because of that, but because of my constant breaks where I had to run to the bathroom.
Oh god.
I swear I had to have like shit 40 times
during
those 48 hours.
I fucking
hate... At the end, I was just biting and drawing blood from my arm, just like...
Oh, I bite my hand sometimes. Like, I got a mark where I have to bite right here, because if I eat anything spicy... 3 days later, 3 fucking days later, because that's how backed up my system is, I guess. Like,
really?
I know how backed up my body is because you eat something spicy, normal poops for 3 days, then on the 3rd day, it's like, yep, those buffalo wings are coming back today. So I'm about 3 days behind on my GI tract, is what I've figured out. I need to take some laxatives or something. But on that 3rd day, dude, I bite my hand until my hand almost bleeds, because the searing asshole pain makes me want to write a fucking suicide letter every time. Just like, I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't fucking make it. I couldn't get through this shit. It was so painful.
Yeah, and you're done shitting. You're just like, fuck, now I gotta wipe.
Oh, the wiping is the fucking worst, because the asshole blood just keeps going, and it's not like you can just leave it. You can't just like, I'll get back to this later. There's shit in your asshole, and your whole body is setting off red fire alarms. There's fucking steam whistles going off inside of your body telling you there is shit in your asshole. Get it out. Get it out, you psycho. Get it out the whole time. So you gotta wipe it, and you're just tearing the butthole tissue, ripping it apart.
I'm so glad healthcare is free over here. Holy shit.
Keep rubbing it in, Jonas. Keep rubbing it in, bud.
Dude, you sound like you're shitting buckets of blood, man. And
No,
you're just like,
no. Not anymore. It used to be real bad, but I just ignored it and it went away. Now it's okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfectly well-functioning nation you got going on over there.
I haven't been to the
So,
doctor in like 20 years, man. I don't fucking know.
what the fuck? Like,
No,
that's
it's not been
unheard
20.
of.
It's been some 28. Be 29 this year, so that's. It's probably been. I went to the. I thought I was having a heart attack for cocaine use, right? And the night before, and it turned out I was just having a panic attack. I spent 30 minutes in the hospital. They gave me an aspirin. They gave me one lorazepam. They did a chest X-ray and an EKG. Right, all of it took 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you think that would have cost me? What would that have cost you in your country?
Yes.
Is it
No, if
anything?
it's at the ER, I don't think it costs anything.
It's free.
I
Want to
think
take a guess what
doctor's appointments cost $20, but like
Oh.
if it's hospital shit, I think it's
That's nice. Take a guess what it cost me.
fuck. As much as that computer.
It was
I
way
don't
more.
know.
It was way more than that computer. It's more than this computer right here. It was $7,500 that I can't pay back. I had perfect credit and it ruined my credit because everyone says don't pay medical debt over here and then it'll fucking you can dispute it and it'll go away. Nope, mine didn't for whatever reason. I went through a couple different like mediation services and they're like, I tried to dispute it like 20 times and nope, they sent it to my credit, ruined my credit because of it. And now like it's in collections for $7,500 for like unpaid medical debt. And I can't go and see a regular doctor and get a checkup on the regular. So like that's the most that I've been to a doctor and it was like in an emergency. I thought I was dying situation.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's pretty fucked, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like it's fucking insane. So I don't know, because if you don't have health insurance, everything costs a fuckload of money. Because the way that it works over here is the insurance companies are a racket basically for everything over here. So what happens is the doctors knows that they can charge the insurance companies whatever they want. They can charge $300 for one aspirin, right? So as business owners, why wouldn't you do that, right? That's the way that works. You're gonna charge the most you possibly can for a product and milk it the most that you can. But that also means that the set price for an aspirin is $300 on paper. So if you don't have insurance, which is the majority of Americans, then you have to pay out of pocket. So you have to pay what they charge the upped rate to the insurance company. It's more complicated than that, but that's the basic idea of why it costs so much over here, and there's no functional free healthcare. There was under Obama for a couple years, but it wasn't really free. It was just mandatory that you pay for insurance, and they made insurance
Like,
more affordable. So it wasn't really free healthcare. What?
they capped it too. Like the most you could pay with Obamacare was like $12,000, which is still an absurd amount.
Over here,
But-
it's not. Over here, that's like, yeah, that's what shit costs. If you want to get your teeth fixed, I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars and dental bills. So yeah, most people just don't go to doctors unless they have like money. You know, people go to doctors still. Their health's important. People suffer with like all these issues all the time. And a lot of times they have to like pay for insurance that they can't afford, take giant cuts out of their pay to like afford the insurance to be able to just like, you know, live like a normal person that wants to go see a doctor and have regular medical care. Damn, I didn't think we'd talk about this. This is going so deep.
Bro, I'm fucking shocked over here, dude, because it sounds, it seems like it's very expensive to be poor in the States.
Oh, so fucking expensive. And then all those people do is talk shit about it. They're like, they always make those posts about if you give a poor man $600 tomorrow, he have nothing. If you give a rich man yeah, it's like yeah, because the guy that's poor needs the money to pay rent and survive and get food, and the guy that has all of his needs met has the ability to reinvest his money. And there's like some fucking weird culture of pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get out your parents' house, stop being lazy, work harder, work more, 40 hours a week. I remember my first part-time job. There's like a whole culture of that, and it's like, yeah, work yourself to death being a cog in the machine of this fucking capitalism thing. I understand that some amount of work is a good thing, but yo, just having your job like hanging over, like your only means to eat and allow your family to like go to school and be protected and like, you know, have shit taken care of and have a roof over your head and shelter is like, this job that they're going to threaten to take away if you actually get sick and can't make it to work, or you don't mentally feel up to it. Isn't it like, I don't know, is it more lax of a work culture in Norway, would you say?
Yeah. I mean, of course we have a higher minimum wage because yours is absurd. It hasn't changed in 4 years, right?
It's been $7.25 on a federal level for like 20 years. Something
And
insane.
how much paid vacation do the average person get?
40 hours a year.
40 hours?
40 hours a year, yeah.
Right.
So a
Because we
week.
got five weeks paid vacation.
Yeah, so if you're a full-time employee at a place that offers benefits and vacation
Oh,
time.
it has to be offered. That isn't mandatory. That's
No. And if you don't work 40 hours, you don't
okay.
qualify for benefits. So you can't, if you don't work the 5-day work week, 40 hours a week, minimum 40 hours a week, you don't qualify for benefits over here at all. So you don't qualify for anything. I mean, you qualify for benefits that you pay out of pocket for, but you don't qualify for like vacation. And not every place offers vacation. And no, it's not mandatory. Maternity leave is like something stupid. Like, what's your maternity leave situation in Norway? Do you have paternity
Uh,
leave also? I know you're not a dad, so
yeah, that's you can both parents can get it.
only
They
the
want.
mother over here. So when my son was born, I had to use all my vacation time in order to still have a paid work week to have 10 days off to when my son was first born, just to be there with Allie when she gave birth to my child.
I
So
gotta say something though. That this sort of shit is what gets attention over here, right? And, like we see American news like over our own political situation, right? Like in a newspaper, if Trump did something stupid, that would always hit the main page, right?
yeah,
And we're just I don't know. It feels kind of helpless from an outside perspective.
it
But we
feels
see
hopeless.
these enormous economic problems, right? And we see what is being focused on. And what is being focused on, it's important shit too. But a lot of it is problem relating to this, right? This big socioeconomic,
Yeah.
like I don't this, and the gaps keep getting larger.
Every day
Shit keeps
they're
devolving.
eliminating the elimination of the middle class is a real thing that's happening on purpose so that there's just a caste system is basically what they're going to, of just poor people and then the wealthy like people that rule everything. And
Yeah, I'm
that's
coming off as a communist now, talking from a
no, I mean,
socialist country.
no, I get it. It's okay. I mean, I don't like communism because communism,
Mm,
every time that it's ever been practiced, has led to a crazy like dictatorship that always ends bad for the people that live under it. But the principles and ideas of
yeah,
of communism and socialism make a lot of sense. And if you could practice them in a way that you know, and but
yeah,
they just
can't.
can't do it like that. So
Nah,
I don't
not
think.
with people. Like with fucking machines, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
But
human beings are gonna like you give them power, and they're gonna absolute power corrupts absolutely. You can't live, these
mm,
But no, you're not coming across like fucking weird. You're making a lot of sense, and I think that a lot of people would agree with you. And I think that it's important to bring it up. I don't talk about it a lot because it's like a comedy podcast and shit, but it's something that
yeah, it is. I just took this from like shit
no,
to
it's this.
politics. I don't know.
This can be
Jesus
whatever it
fucking.
is. Huckers fuckers is
Yeah.
whatever, man. Do whatever you want here. Like I'm really enjoying this conversation because I don't ever get to do this like ever or talk about it because the reason for all the comedy is because the world's so fucking dark, right? That's why I have no
Oh
shame
fuck yeah.
also about living in my grandpa's basement. A lot of people they feel weird about it, and I'm like, he likes having me here. He likes seeing my kids. It's mutually beneficial for both of us. I mean, I feed him all of his meals. He's 92. Take care of him. I feel like it's more acceptable in other parts of the world to have like, living intergenerationally with family members and stuff like that. And I don't feel like I'm a
Yeah,
leech
dude.
or a burden. And I take care of stuff here, so it's not like I'm a burden on him or some sort of leech here. But it's still frowned upon, and I don't, because of all the points that you're making about how fucked everything is. That's also why the comedy. That's it. I feel like it's incredibly dark over here right now, and I hear people just
Mm.
preach constantly the greatest fucking land in the world, the greatest nation in the world is all I hear constantly, and I'm like, I get it. I get the pride. I get the the nationalistic civic pride and the sense of this is of your countrymen and togetherness and community. I understand where it comes from, but if you look at the statistics and you talk to anybody else from other countries about how shit's going for them, it seems like we're going towards the bottom real fucking fast, man. Like that best country in the land shit's yesterday's news. Like, that's just not the case anymore, and it's fucking incredibly bleak. Like, I went to the grocery store yesterday, and luckily I'm on food assistance because my baby mom gets it for the 2 kids and splits it with me, since we split, our time equally, so she feels like, the kids are over there half the time, you get half of the food assistance. And I go there, and I'm just looking at the price of bread. For one loaf of bread, of shitty bleached flour white bread, which, costs them fucking 8 cents in supplies. It's bread. What is bread? Bread is flour, water, salt, and leavening, and time in an oven, in an industrial oven, which takes no time at all, produced on a massive level. $3. It's fucking $3 for one loaf of bread. I'm like, so the price has tripled on everything. Like, it's just like, this is fucking bleak and hopeless, even if you have food assistance, because then they give you less food assistance, and then fucking the price of everything costs more. And I'm like, and now what if you don't have the food assistance? And they only give really poor people that don't make a lot of money on paper the food assistance that they need to survive. So it's like, I don't know. The middle class needs that too, and they're not being given those benefits. So then you drive a wedge in between the really poor and the only kind of poor. And then while those two classes fight, and they're being completely wiped off the face of the earth, the rich people are all figuring out how to spend your money while they're getting you to fight against each other over food and fucking politics.
I was about to say, is there still a middle class order?
No, not really. I mean, there is, but it's temporary. It's going away quick. You either figure out how to be super rich and wealthy, or you're gonna fucking. There's no room to be adequate anymore. It's either fucking fail or succeed. There's no middle.
One thing I find ridiculous is the fact if you're poor, you pay. This is just politics now.
That's okay. Yeah, we can talk about it. That's okay.
If you're poor, you pay a higher percent of tax than if you're rich. Here, it's literally the opposite. If you're poor, you pay a lower percent tax.
It's not exactly that over here. It's not exactly that.
All right.
People with more money are in higher income brackets and do have to pay more in taxes.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry. Like in percentage of your income?
They don't proportionally pay the same percentage of their income as somebody but I mean, they pay millions and millions. But that's the big issue that everybody talks about, and it's fucking insane, because there just doesn't. People that have billions of dollars it's an absurd amount of money that you do not need to function, or even generations of your family don't need to function. You could survive on less than that, and you could pay more in taxes and live the comfortablest possible life that you could ever live. Anything outside of, I think somebody said the number is anything after $750,000. The amount of money that you make after that doesn't change your life really at all. I mean, you could do more crazy shit if you wanted to, but honestly, if you're making consistently $750K a year, all your needs are met, and then some, and then all of your families and all your extended family's needs are met. You can help anybody that you want, and you can live comfortably doing pretty much whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yeah.
So any amount of money after that, you don't really need. So, I mean, so say that you give people an absurd amount of wealth, put it at 100 million. Well, that's still fucking insane. You could pass it on generationally over and over and over again and pay most of your money in taxes, and fucking, you could fix this whole problem by charging these couple of people that own all of the fucking concentrated wealth some proportional amount of their income that the poor people are paying, right? So, yeah, sorry to go on a little diatribe about it, but I do feel passionately about it, and I do think about it a lot, and it bothers the fucking shit out of me, because it is hopeless, and it's like what you said. It's like, what am I going to fucking do? The system's all set up like this. Anybody that does have good ideas politics-wise, the second that they fucking get in there, they realize that you have to play the game in order to make money. They don't. Yeah. So they don't make the politicians don't make the income that they need to get reelected through a multi-million-dollar fucking campaign ad. You got to do a campaign promotion to get elected every couple of years. Where are you getting that money from? Not your salary, not your it's a 6-figure salary that you're now using to support your family and live a certain type of lifestyle. How else do I make the money? Oh, now I have to lobby for certain things and get the money. But and fucking I'm not going to get the support and the money from these people if I don't play their game. And then they get wrapped up in the same fucking system. So it's like, people are like, why don't you vote? Because I don't vote because I don't believe in the system, because I think it's completely fucked. I don't think that there's any I think that you got to redo the whole fucking thing. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't have a solution. I think someone could. I think someone does. I don't think the solution's old shit that also doesn't work. I don't think communism or socialism is the solution, because they've tried that, and that shit fails over and fucking over again. And it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's successful in some places that are, the size of Connecticut. In countries that aren't as large as our country is, it works, but it doesn't. So I don't think those things are going to work. I think that there is a solution and somebody has it, but I think that it's hopeless. I think it's fucked. So when I talk about it, I get depressed. So because it's like, what do you fucking do? There's nothing to do. Like, once you see the inner workings of the whole thing, you're like, everything here is fucked. Like, there's no fixing this at all. Like, sorry to go on my rant about it, that whole diatribe.
No, you say sorry after every monologue. It's all right, dude. It's your show. But
I'm cutting that out. Now I'm just gonna make you look like an asshole. I didn't hear Cody say sorry one time. What's he talking about? Fuck this Norwegian guy, dude. His communism and his fucking hoingy boingy language. Fuck this guy. I don't want to listen to him.
But like our shit that works over here, I don't know if that would work over in the States. Like, it works here because it's all in good faith, right? We got believe in our fellow countrymen, I guess. And that's why we're kind of we have a lot of social benefits, because we don't think people want to abuse it inherently, right?
Don't you guys have less pollution than anywhere else in the entire world also?
That depends. Like, all our energy is green, yeah, but we throw a lot of electric shit out. At that, I think we're top of the list. Right? We just
e-waste.
Buy an iPad and,
e-waste is a huge
e-waste,
issue, dude.
Top. We ship a lot of shit somewhere to be burnt, I guess. But yeah, with electricity we don't.
Yeah, we don't set it we don't make a tire fire here. We send our tires to China to have them make a tire fire out of it. So we don't have any pollution, but okay, so that's a little bit of a racket. Would you say there's a lot of nationalistic pride in general?
I mean, there is some pride, like.
Well, because you said that you have to believe in your.
I think there's more of it in the States, to be honest. Like, I see every McDonald's has an American flag outside it. Here, you're only allowed to hang up the flag on certain days, like, for example, birthdays or like vacation days, holidays. I mean.
Really? Why is that? What's the concept behind that you're only allowed?
I don't know. Europe had had a lot of changes after some nationalists went through, and we don't really
I forgot that Norway was Nazi occupied for a while. You probably got a fucking grandpa that had to be a Nazi for fucking 3 weeks or some shit.
I had a grandpa who was a resistance fighter.
Really?
Some train tracks. Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about that? I'm so fascinated with World War II, dude. Do you have any stories about that, or not really?
Yeah, well, he doesn't like talking too much about it. All I know is he helped he helped blow up some train tracks. He was with a group called the Boys in the Woods, I guess would be the English translation.
What's the Norwegian? What's the hard ass Norwegian? I bet that shit sounds cool as fuck in Norwegian.
Gutta i skauen.
Gutta i skauen. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I mean,
kind of
shittily. Yeah, sure. I'll let it pass. But yeah, he also helped a German pilot or like a German plane crashed into a mountain next to his little village, and they all kind of went up there to see if there were any survivors to be rescued. And there wasn't, so they just kind of like picked the plane apart and got some new barn doors from fucking plane wings.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah. Actually, speaking of World War II, I had a field trip going through Europe in 10th grade. Like, we sold toilet paper for 4 years, like everyone in the class, so we could go on a trip through Europe in a bus.
That's interesting. We do that with candy, but then they give you like the shittiest prize. Like you get to go to McDonald's in a limousine. Like what the fuck? Oh, for making yeah, for my mom scamming all of her friends for $1,000 for the school, we get to go to McDonald's in a limousine. You fucking motherfuckers. But only the cool. You got to go on a whole trip selling toilet paper. That rules. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Like we just went from we went from Trondheim down to Oslo, the capital. It's south in Norway, and then we went to Sweden to go across a bridge to Denmark, and then we went through a little bit of Germany to get to Poland, right? And then we started just looking at concentration camps. And
what do they have still? Auschwitz, Birkenau, and like Buchenwald and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, they got a bunch.
Do they keep them all up? Like all of them?
No, not all of them. I mean, actually, one of them we were going to visit. We couldn't because the previous day it had been set ablaze by neo-Nazis.
No fucking way.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, this is false evidence." Like,
I've never understood that about the Nazis.
Shit. No,
if the Nazis were really hardcore racist fucking assholes, and they are, and they're pieces of fucking shit. Fuck the Nazis. I mean, obviously. I mean, I don't want to virtue signal and fuck the Nazis. It is important to say it though, but like. Wouldn't you, as a Nazi, wouldn't you fucking embrace the Holocaust? I don't understand that they deny it. Like, it's like, if you're this hardcore racist that hates the Jewish race, wouldn't you be proud of the biggest accomplishment in your fucking crazy eyes that was ever happened?
Isn't that what they were all about?
Yes.
Isn't that their whole thing?
Yeah. Why are they trying to
what
rewrite
are you then?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not about that, what are you then? Like, what?
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of terror cells in Germany. Like Vice put out a documentary about all these like Nazi terror cells because there's still people that still have pride about it. If you ask the older generations of Germans, I've seen documentaries where they're asked about it, and they're like, "We liked Hitler. We voted him in the power." They're like, it was kind of a little bit of a takeover, but I mean, as much as it was a takeover was like the way that the Donald Trump's people did it. It's like, he didn't just get thrown into office. Like, it kind of felt like a fucking Nazi regime takeover when Trump's in there. I know it's not the same at all. It's very different, but I mean.
With the attempted coup, definitely.
Yeah, that's what made it feel like the January 6th, like, coup that happened, essentially. It was fucking bananas to me. It felt very Hitler-ish in the same, like, a majority of people like that guy here. I know people in my family that like that guy a lot. It must be what it feels like with those people and Hitler, but, you know, Donald Trump didn't do a Holocaust, but easily could have been one of those people that fucking took that power and just decided to do that shit with it, and fucking, I'm sure there'd be a bunch of people standing behind him if he had, right? Just like they are with Hitler.
Dude, it's, January 6th is really scary for all NATO countries, actually. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know the Rammstein song, like, "We all live in America."
America, yeah, where he's like,
it really is like that a little bit.
On for Paris steckt Mickey Mouse, which means in for Paris stands Mickey Mouse, because it's like, he's talking about how there's fucking McDonald's everywhere, and he's like talking about Wonder Bra being the big fucking brand that everybody's got to know about, and it's not a German brand, but it sounds like it is, but it comes from the United States, and everything's fucking, he's planting the American flag on the moon. It's just Americanizing. It's like British colonization across, but in modern day with the United States.
We watch American shows. We get American news. I mean, shit, I got American products right next to me,
you
right
speak
here.
Fluent English probably better than I do. You probably speak better.
We start learning English the same time we start learning Norwegian, like in school. Like, it really does, and for all of us, it's very scary, especially the January 6th and the fact the Republican Party validates it. They say it's a legitimate form of discourse to cue the government, to cue the state.
Yep, it's insane, isn't it?
The fact that it's in the open and they can openly say that, and nothing is being done. No son of a bitch is like grabbed his AR and gone, "Wait, hang on a second, that's not right." Right? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they threw the people that did it in jail, but people can still embrace it and just be cool with that happening. For me, I hadn't taken a hard stance on like the Donald Trump shit because I've always been like, I've had
Yeah,
friends.
you live in the States. Like,
Well,
people are fanatical. Like, I wouldn't have a hard stance
a lot of
either.
people do, especially right now.
Yeah.
It's with the internet. You can hide behind the internet and fucking be a keyboard warrior. I've just never been outwardly political. I have the thoughts by myself. I think about this shit a lot. I watch stuff about it, and I keep that shit to myself. I'm like old school with the politics sometimes. I know we're discussing it now, but it's not big for me to discuss it. I feel like it's my private feelings on it.
It's on
but
the Patreon, right?
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I've been thinking about putting this out for free because this is a pretty good episode.
Ah,
So
fuck it.
I was thinking about putting this
fuck
on
you.
YouTube. Yeah, this has been a good conversation. I don't get to have a lot of these on there. But my point was that I'm always kind of like in the middle about a lot of stuff because I'm just like, I don't fucking know, man. It's hard for me to like take a hardline stance on anything. The whole world feels gray to me. That's why I didn't say much about that. I didn't like Trump. I don't like what he stood for. I'm not a big RNC or Republican Party guy. I'm not into that sort of thing. I would be more into the Democratic side if I had to pick one of the two sides, but I don't like that side for its own reasons either.
Yeah.
The Republicans are more outwardly hateable, but what really made me take a stance in my head, fuck this guy, fuck this, I don't want to have this guy be elected. The only time I thought about voting, and I don't like Biden, and I don't like the Kamala Harris as a fucking, oh, cool, we've elected the person that's put more people and more poor people, more people that are suffering from fucking Ronald Reagan's drug laws and locked them up into a privatized prison business. More people than any other cop has ever done it is our vice president. I don't want to vote for that person. I don't want to vote for sleepy Joe Biden that's falling asleep at the wheel and fucking dying of Alzheimer's in front of all of us on national television. But I almost wanted to over Trump after that January 6th shit because it was like, or that because that happened. No, that happened after the election, right? Because I don't remember exactly when.
Yeah, it wasn't it close to the end or something?
It made me want
Or
to. The point is, it made me
after.
want to co-sign whatever the fucking Democratic Party was doing because I was just like, this is so egregious what's happened. It's so fucking scary that these psychopaths have been able to take over a state capitol building and nothing was really done about it. And people fucking died. People died and people's lives were threatened legitimately and people came in there trying to kill people. Like they were going to take congressmen or senators. I don't know a lot about fucking exactly where it was taken over at. I'm such an idiot when it comes to this shit because I try to ignore it. I got all these big boisterous opinions about this, and I'm not well versed in any of the shit that had happened.
Dude,
but,
I'm not even in this country.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting there having an opinion about it.
It just scared the fuck out of me the way that it went down. It was really weird. I felt really fucking just shitty about the entire thing, and it was like, oh well, this is why people have been making such a hard outward stance that fuck this guy and fuck this party right now, and this is a representation of exactly what they said was going to happen, you know. Sorry to go on and on about it. I keep saying sorry. Shut up, Cody. Stop saying sorry, you fuck. It's my podcast. You're sorry. I'm not sorry.
But the fact you talked a little bit about it earlier, right? You don't make any hard stances or political statements on the podcast, right? You keep it funny while talking about shit that in reality is pretty depressing and awful. It is kind of what drew me in, right? I got shit I'm not happy about, like past troubles and that sort of shit. And you guys laughing about shit that I find 10 times worse kind of taught me that just because you worry about it doesn't mean it is that bad, right? Just it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, the world's a dark
fucking
fucking place.
I really appreciate about you guys.
Yeah, the world's a dark fucking place, and the only way to get through it is to laugh about it. Well, not for everyone. But for me, for sure, for some people, for you, I mean, it also puts it in perspective for people when they get to hear other people's stories and get to hear that you can also have fucking weird traumas and weird shit that happens to you and still be a semi-functional member of society, and like you can be a happy person to some extent. And you don't, sure, I've got my troubles and depression issues and stuff like that, but you can work through this, and that's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to necessarily do that. I'm just trying to be funny. I'm just trying to fulfill my own selfish needs by doing a podcast, but I'm glad it is working out for somebody else, you know? I'm glad that it's making a positive mark. I'm glad that my selfishness is translated to something that's helped somebody else. Thanks for
Dude,
saying
you
that.
shoot yourself down so quick. It's it's amazing.
Well, you gotta hate the fucking people that don't, right? Fuck everybody that's not humble about what they're doing. Like, fuck everybody that wants to sit there and be like, I am awesome, aren't I? Fuck you. Are you? Are you awesome? You're so fucking cool. You're another fucking blood bag with a weird fucking spongy consciousness that's moving around with fucking bones and not really knowing what's going on and pretending you got it all figured out. And you're so fucking cool. Like, I don't know. I know I can go over the top with shooting myself down, but I think it's important. I think it's fucking important. Anybody that's telling you that their shit doesn't stink, check their asshole. I bet it's fucking dirty in there. I bet it smells awful. All right?
Hey, dude. Actually, maybe that's why you get all the weirdo messages. Because you shoot yourself down to like our level. To all the weirdos.
Don't include
like,
yourself. I'm not fucking calling anybody else and getting them on the phone to do a podcast with. And none of these other fucking psychos would have a good Sorry, psychos that like me. None of you are going to be as good as...
whip my dick out? I can do that.
Please, no more dicks. Please, no more dicks. All right? No more
Dude, I got a pimple. You need to look at this. I don't know if it's a words or what.
For you, only because you've done so much good podcasting. Now, that fucking guy... All he did was hit me up at random and fucking weird times to say weird things to me, which I'm sure I've done to you drunkenly. I apologize if I've sent you an occasional...
I enjoy that shit, man. Don't worry about it.
I didn't enjoy it when this fan was doing it though. With you, it's cool because I'm like, I don't know, I can vibe with you. I can talk to you. You come across as intelligent. You're well spoken. You're traveled. You fucking actually experienced the world. You're not talking out of your asshole about shit that you don't understand. You seem like you pay attention. You seem like you've got something locked in. I don't know what it is for sure, but you're not like, don't include yourself in the group of fans that are the fucking whip your hard dick out and send it to me and fucking weirdos and shit like that. But
I'm tempted.
That is probably why I get some people, because a lot of people are like, he's my inner voice talking. If only I could have the confidence to talk about my little dick and fucking weird problems like he does. And I'm like, I have serious psychological trauma and I have to talk about it. And it's not that,
yeah, but you talk openly about it. You talk about it genuinely, right? And most people are pretty similar, right? If you talk about some genuine feelings or thoughts you have, chances are the average person has also felt or thought the same shit at some point. And yeah, I relate to a lot of shit you said earlier, and that sort of shit. And it does make you more approachable, I guess.
Yeah,
it's weird thinking about it. Actually,
I'm glad that I seem approachable and shit like that. But fans listening, no more dick pics, please. No more fucking. Don't just assume because I told Jonas that he's cool that you're all gonna be cool. Just thanks for the $5. Keep it moving. All right, get fucking t-shirt message, cool. Keep it to that. I like those messages. As much as I enjoy embracing crazy sometimes, it also has led me down some fucking dark paths and shit like that. All right, you said you had another. Do you have some other funny fucking weird stories?
Oh, dude, I got the story about traveling through Europe and that sort of shit. It was kind of wacky, right? Because we're all just a bunch of 16-year-olds on a bus for like 3 weeks, I think.
Are you a legal adult at 16 years old in most parts of Europe?
In most of it, yeah. At least in Norway, if you're 16, you can fuck someone who's 16 to 18. And like, if you're 18, you can't fuck anyone under 18.
Okay.
That sort of shit. But it was kind of weird because we weren't prepared for all that shit, right? We went around, saw concentration camps. Like, especially one concentration camp kind of fucked us up.
Which one?
Because it was called Ravensbrück, and it's like a women's camp, I think.
Oh god, they used to rape women there. They were.
Oh yeah,
it's horrific.
They had and worse. They were doing like experiments and shit, and they had like pictures, and it was like this underground under the camp. They had like cells and shit. Like it looked like an underground prison.
They treated them like animals. Yeah, they would
just do experiments there. They would like cut them open, like the whole arm down, and just shove sand in there and sew it back together. to see like how like necrosis, how if they could treat necrosis, and like we're 16. That shit fucked us up.
That's
So
brutal.
we're in a weird headspace, and we're like really emotional and shit.
And I'm sorry I keep interrupting you. This is all coming to me. I used to watch a lot of these Nazi documentaries. Like, I was fascinated by it as a kid because it's like, it's the most horrific version of humanity that's ever existed. To see that in a documentary is one thing, but to actually be present in the camp, seeing some fucking, knowing I'm standing on the hallowed ground that is the blood of thousands of human beings that were fucking mercilessly tortured to death over the course of half of a fucking decade. Or no, a decade. It was a couple decades plus, right? Because the regime started in the 30s and then it went on until 45. So, I mean, you're talking about almost 20 years or fucking 12 years of fucking just Nazi fucking horseshit that devastated so many people's lives. That's got to be a different thing to just stand there and feel the weight of this death.
But right next to this camp,
there's a lunchbox of mushrooms, and we all
we just got fucking toasted.
I never learned my lesson. I just keep eating lunchbox. I'm very trusting. Norwegians are very trusting.
Dude, it says mushrooms. Said 1 dose on the top of it. I mean, I guess it is.
He said, "Do you have
no?"
I'm sorry.
There's like this lake right next to this camp, and where they would dump all the ash. And so, like, there's a beach along there with, like, really fine sand. And we're just like, holy fucking shit. There's, like, 100,000 people in this lake.
Oh.
Just, and so we're 16. We're fucked up. So we decided, dude, we gotta do something to honor these victims here. What's the most emotional thing we know? Oh, yeah, let's play a song. And so we... You rock on a guitar and amplifier, and we fucking play Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, right? In a concentration camp. We're just fucking... and we're all crying and shit. We're like, we got tears. It's like, oh, this is so beautiful. Like all these victims.
It is a very beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful story. But when you said the song,
Green Day. Yeah, we're just playing Green Day in a concentration camp. You know, we're just
Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Yeah. Like looking back at it, I'm like, oh fuck. Did we fucking do that?
Dude, just change the name of the song. You can still tell that story, but it's got to be a new song. We played Mad World.
Yeah, we played Amon Amarth. You know?
Runestone to your memory. That's so fucking funny.
Played Sabaton. No, I don't. No, but yeah, fuck me. Looking back, we thought it was so emotional. It was the most beautiful, best thing we could have done, right? But looking back, we're all like, yeah, let's just forget
that ever happened.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That is such a good fucking story. Who else has a story like that? Holy shit.
Dude, it sucks though. We could have played any song, just any other song.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams at a fucking concentration camp over a beach made out of the bones of 100,000 dead Jewish women.
Like, I'm 16. This is deep.
That's so fucking funny. That's so real. That's like a 16-year-old fucking move. You know how many of those dumb things that I thought that I was doing that were like super powerful? I posted some of them on Facebook. We were just talking about that in a podcast we just recorded that's coming out soon.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So many things that we had to... Luke read one of his stories on the podcast where you'll just have to wait to hear it this week because I don't want to butcher how he did it, but he was like, I found a post from when I was 17 and I play the Incredible Hulk walking away music while fucking Luke is just like, I just wish that everyone in the world that ever had a problem could just take all their pain and put it together and throw it away. And I'm like, you're such a douchebag. I don't know.
Yes, not right.
It's one of those, but yours is so much better than that because who the fuck else has that fucking story? It's just you and your 4 friends. Nobody else has that story. It's you and your buddies that you did that with. That rules, dude.
Dude, the guards must have been like, dude, just just fucking let them. Just don't even look at them. Just, fuck.
Oh,
They're just speaking some different language, and the guards are like, "All right, we can't even talk to these people. just pray. Maybe they'll leave."
Did you have any other ones that you wanted to close on? Do you want that to be the closer story? We're at an hour, so the last one. Do you have any closing?
I could do one about Egypt. Actually, it's kind of long. It's like
go ahead, man. We
maybe.
got some time. Tell us the Egypt story. Let's go.
Well, my grandparents, right? They were recently pensioners. Like
what is
they
that?
Recently retired. That's
okay. See, I'm American. I don't know how pensions or retirement works.
Yeah,
you work until you die.
Dude, that's another fucking topic. God damn, that sucks. but yeah, they retired. They had like a ton of money just laying around. So they decided, hey, how about I take my children and my grandchildren on a vacation? And so we're like a group of 16 people. We're traveling to Egypt, in a city called Sharm el Sheikh.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Can you pause your story right there? I gotta go get an energy drink. I'm gonna cut this out in editing, so I'll be right back. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
That's fine, my guy.
Okay, buddy, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it, man.
All right, so there's a group of 16 of you, and you go and travel to where?
Well, we're traveling to Egypt, a city called Sharm el Sheikh. It's fuck, I don't know where to describe its placement, but yeah, it's like a city with a fucking expansive coral reef, like right off the coast.
That's
like,
awesome.
I could see it on my knees in like a tropical coral reef. It's fucking awesome.
That's got to be beautiful to see up close in person.
Yeah, but it's like a town in the middle of the desert, so it's only surviving on tourism pretty much. But there has been a terrorist attack the year before, so there was no tourists there. So we're just walking around like in a group of 16, and there's like street vendors everywhere, but they're desperate as fuck because there hasn't been tourists here in a year. So we're just being like flocked as we walk down the street. It got really uncomfortable at times, but
just begging you guys for money and shit like that.
Yeah, or just trying to offer anything, right? Anything they got for money.
They're dirty sandals that smell like fucking halal bread.
Yeah,
and shit.
I mean, they're desperate. They're all living by tourism, and there's no tourism. So, it actually got pretty bad at some point because my dad decided that, oh yeah, what I want to eat is a medium raw steak from a street kitchen in Egypt.
No one tried to stop him?
We're just like, are you medium? Medium rare. Not medium well. You just, all right? Okay. So...
yeah, that's not the...
he does his own thing.
Oh, God.
He got food poisoning, right?
Of course he did.
And so we gotta go look for, like,
he ate a medium rare dog steak. Yeah, a feral dog steak, basically.
Yeah, maybe. We don't fucking know.
For sure it was some goofy ass meat. There's no way it was what they advertised it to be. There's no possible way.
Not.
Rotten goat leg.
We see all we see is sand and like, oh yeah, so this is beef, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no fucking way your dad was eating beef. Eating fucking cat steaks. I'm sorry, keep going. So he gets food poisoning.
Regardless, he got food poisoning, and we gotta go to a pharmacy in the middle of the night because it's real bad.
I'm sure they only have the finest of antibiotics at the pharmacy and the nicest of healthcare.
Yeah, but we just gotta get something, right? So we were walking to the closest one, and like, oh shit. Just a lone woman and her 2 kids walking down the street at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, no.
Egypt. And so we get kind of like flocked, right?
You guys are whiter than the sand. The moonlight must have just made you guys a fucking bright white neon sign walking down the street.
Dude, on my second monitor, I had to put up a black screen just because if I put on a white screen, I'm just glowing. but yeah, they're just really insistent, but we kind of know, like, okay, this is an uncomfortable situation, so we just start walking in the middle of the street. That shit kind of worked actually. Like they didn't do anything, but we got a crowd of 25 people behind us, right? Just like, hey, where you need to go? Let me show you the way. Just it's down this alley. Come on. So, so now we get to the pharmacy, and
I want to take you on a secret path to the pharmacy down this dark alley.
Yeah, it's okay. It all goes fine. The day after,
is that a knife?
We're going on a cruise, or like a little trip, right? We're going on a boat, an ancient Victorian boat that is going to take us further out to the coral reef.
Wait, and what? So, what do you mean? You're getting on a Victorian? It's that old?
Yeah, they got like an ancient ass sail ship, right? That's probably left there by England, right? Because Egypt was owned by England at some point. But it's old as fuck. They've like refurbished it in loose terms, right? They just put like an engine in there. They don't use the sails at all. And it's actually just only Russian tourists on it most. So they can't translate us at all. It's fine, we know English. But I didn't know it was a guided trip because all the talking they did was in Russian. And so when they stop, I just kind of start swimming on my own. I like looking at sharks and shit, right? There's like coral sharks. They're like 1.5 meter long. They're not too big, but still sharks.
Yeah.
And so we're just like in the middle of the ocean. There's like a patch that is a little more shallow. And here's this beautiful coral reef. I swim around it and everything. And I hear the bell on the boat, right? Eventually. And I'm like,
is that the get the fuck back on the boat bell? Or the we're leaving
that's
bell?
Like, yeah, ciao, we're leaving. So I swim over to the boat. And there's like this rope staircase that goes down the side. Like just plank staircase held up by rope. And there's this old Russian grandma, or just this really old Russian person, just sitting on the bottom step. And so, I'm just floating next to her, just waiting for her to move. And lo and behold, the boat starts moving.
Oh, no.
And, I'm 14 at this point. I don't really know what's up. So I'm just like kind of swimming after the boat. I'm not yelling or anything.
You've got one Russian word. Privyet, privyet, privyet.
Privyet. Just fucking get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
No, but she doesn't move. She just kind of just blankly looks at me as the boat starts moving away. And it doesn't stop. It just kind of keeps going and going. And I'm in a coral reef with sharks. And so I just like have a conscious thought that if I start thinking, I'm gonna panic. So I just
you're like, it's me or this old bitch, and then I pulled her into the ocean and fed her to
No, dude, the boat is starting to leave. It's far past me at this point. I'm just thinking to myself, fuck, you gotta start swimming or you start panicking. So I start swimming. I just start swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming. And like, I don't know what felt like 3 hours, but was probably like 40 minutes.
Oh my God,
I see
dude,
the
what?
Boat fucking stop in the distance, right? The boat stops in the distance. And I'm like, oh shit, they've noticed. They've finally fucking noticed. My whole family of 16 people, someone eventually noticed that one guy is not here, right? And so I just start swimming, and I swim and I swim and I swim, and I get back to the fucking boat, right? But I'm 14. I can't mentally process what the fuck just happened because I started swimming before I started thinking. So I don't really I just push it at the back of my mind.
Survival instincts kicked in, man. You knew you were gonna die. Yeah. You're like, either swim or die here.
Dude, I might have, right?
You for sure would have died. You would have died if you hadn't started.
My whole family was on that boat. How the fuck did they not?
That sucks. Does that like fuck your head up to this day? Like, do you have like weird drama about being left now?
I kind of not, because I kind of blocked it all out until my mom just reminded me like 2 years back. And I just went, oh, fuck. That did happen. What the fuck? Right? Because after this trip, we got another free private tour.
I'm sorry. Before you move on, finish that story though. What happened? You got on the boat?
No,
Like, what's the...
I got on the boat. I'm in a shock. Right? I just like sit down with my family and just like go on as if nothing happened. Right? I don't think or anything. I just like sit there and like look at the rest of the trip. But when we get back, they let off all the Russians and they say, "Hey, you guys, was it you we left in the ocean? Yeah, how about we give you and your family like a free tour? Just you know, just you know, just I gotta. You're not a lawyer, are you? You're not a lawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your family looks
So
white and litigious. Yeah, you guys look like you might.
So they gave us another free tour, right?
Yeah.
But then they kept complimenting us the whole time. And I'm fucking dumb as shit. So I'm just like, these guys are really nice. Like,
They almost left you for dead. Yeah.
yeah, they almost fucking left in the middle of the ocean.
Oh my god, that sucks balls.
Yeah, it was great though. We got like a private tour and a bunch of compliments. I mean, I can't complain, but I fucking almost died.
You have so many reasons to fucking complain. That's another great story. Are you chock full of stories like these and you were nervous? You were this fucking guy was nervous to come talk to us fucking fat-faced douchebags and you've got stories like this? Get the fuck out of here. Start your own podcast. People would rather listen to you than my horse shit. These are great stories.
But there's this little thing you keep forgetting, and you guys are very good at storytelling. Burying the lead, keeping the story interesting, and just getting it all out there linearly. You guys are really good at that. I gotta say.
We practiced a lot. We did a lot of practice. The early episodes aren't as good. We had friends that fucking sat around and bullshitted and like told stories, and we all are like-minded people that wanted the same things. So you have to get good at that if you want to hang out with the boys, right? You got to be good at storytelling. You're good at storytelling too. Those are great stories. You fucking buried the lead. Those are awesome like stories with a beginning, middle, and end. I'll fucking tell a story. I'll start at the beginning. I'll get to the end. I'll be like, hold on, there's a middle, and then I'll sidetrack. We'll talk about politics for 40 minutes, and then I'll realize I interrupted your cool story. Yeah.
Can you go like 30 minutes without shooting yourself in the leg, man?
No, it's my thing.
No. Come on.
I have to. It's my thing.
You have gotten really great at that shit. I listened to some earlier episodes. I just started re-listening to them. And you guys were good back then as well. But now you guys are a lot better.
Thanks, man.
I really appreciate the content value.
The last couple episodes are not going to sound as good because I broke sobriety again. It's one day out of 7 that I've been drinking. So I was like, that isn't so bad. We got some really traumatic, horrible news about somebody in a friend group. So the Big Trouble in Little China LLC was bad. I know that was bad. I knew it was bad when we did it. I felt terrible about it because that's a good movie. I just didn't know how to process what was happening, really. I thought
you sounded 2 octaves lower. Actually. I
was fucking sad. It was a sad day. And then, like, I had had a long week for other reasons, and then I was thinking about the shit. We're not going to talk about it, because it's just not our business to talk about on mic or off mic, but there was some heavy shit. The OSHA Dwyer episode that's coming out, I listened back to that. That one was okay, and then on the Patreon afterwards is okay, but it's not our finest work. But, dude, this has been refreshing to do this nice, like, sober podcast with you, because now I feel like I've made up for doing bad podcasts all week. Like, even though I have an excuse, I'm like, oh, man.
At least one of us is sober.
What's that?
Okay. At least one of us is sober, I guess.
Are you drunk right now? How many of those have you put down so far?
Nah, dude, I just inhaled one before I called because I was so nervous.
Do you feel better now? We've talked for an hour 15. You feel less nervous?
Dude, I'm great.
Yeah, dude, you're comfortable now. You seem like you're good at this shit. I don't know. Record yourself talking. See if it... I tell everybody to do a podcast, so don't listen to my horse shit. But
you inspired me.
You guys
man. Fucking inspired me. I bought this mic for $300. It sucks balls. I didn't do any research. I'm just like, oh shit.
It's an okay mic. No, you can buy some foam pads for your room. So that mic's it's a different style mic. So this is a dynamic vocal mic. So you have to talk into the front of it because the vocal pattern is this little balloon that goes around that's like this big. So it's good audio quality if you're right here. You have I forget what that one's called.
Triple condenser or something.
Yeah, condenser mic. So the condensers pick up a whole room, right? And you have to play with the settings on the mic in order to fucking. So if it's gonna pick up the whole room, then you got to do sound dampening stuff throughout your room to make the audio quality better. You could have good audio quality with that mic. You sound pretty good coming through a Facebook video call right now. So I don't know, dude. Fucking record yourself. Put up a little wall behind you. Talk shit. Call people in. You could do it this way. Call people in through fucking Facebook call. Make sure they got a mic set up.
I got this mic tilted towards me simply because every other podcast you say no, talking to the top of the mic. What the fuck you do?
Well, that's it's only for these kinds of mics, not for
yeah.
you.
I haven't done my research. I just hear like, oh shit, you gotta talk at the top of microphones. All right. I just take that as a blanket statement. Right?
I've seen that mic before. My friend Josh used to record into a mic like that. He'd record guitar parts and fucking put it up on a SoundCloud back in the day and shit. It was a very much older version of that mic. It's just got the one knob on the front of it, right? What kind of mic is that? What's it called?
From the Max M Drill Pro.
It definitely wasn't that then. It just looked like that. It looked very similar. Does it have bad reviews or some shit like that?
No, it had some pretty good reviews, but I realized why. It's because it got like an absurd bit rate. But I'm not. It has settings. It's only supposed to take audio from the front. But like if I snap my fingers behind it, you're definitely hearing it.
Just look up a YouTube video on how to do it, man. I just talked to you for an hour and 15 minutes without a hiccup, and you got good stories and shit. Do a fucking show, dude. Why not? We'll promote it on Bastard Sermon. Fucking try it out if you. Seem like you'd be into it. You seem like you'd be good at it, but I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt.
I'm so happy right now, my guy.
Hey, man, so am I. This has been a fucking really good time talking to you, dude. Do you have anything you want to plug before we turn off the podcast?
No, fuck all. I'm a factory worker. I don't do shit.
Hey, man, much love. You're a great fan. Fucking other fans listening, be like this guy. This guy fucking rules. He doesn't send me dick pictures. He's nice and well-spoken. He thinks about shit before he sends a message. You're a good kid, man. I like you. I like you a whole lot. I'm happy I got to do this with you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. I hope we get to do something else again in the future. All right, Patreon listeners. Actually, this might come out. I'm just going to put this bitch out for free so that we're going to put out the LLC for free also, so you'll get a taste of what LLC is like, and you'll get a taste of what Huckers Fuckers is. It's just one-on-one interviews. It doesn't have to be like the Bastard Sermon. Maybe it's funny if it's funny. We talk politics. If politics come up, maybe a movie comes up. It's like how I do Bastard Sermon, but just me. I don't have two other guys that I got to play off of. And I don't got to focus on Bastard Sermon's all comedy. It has to just be that. I can't be my real self on the Bastard Sermon all the time. I have to be funny, and real me isn't always funny. I've got things that I want to say and shit, so this every once and again, every couple months, I might put a Huckers Fuckers out, and I feel like this is a pretty good example of that, man. I'm glad you got to be a part of it. I'm glad you got over your nerves. This has been so much fun. I love you, brother. Hope you have a good one, dude. All right.
I love you too, man.
Thanks, dude. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for listening.